on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Make a wish.
You're looking live at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Round number 5 of the LATAM GP Spring Showdown. Jamie Maudsley, along with my broadcast partner Jordan Maudsley, joining me here tonight as we watch qualifying just getting underway. 9 o'clock qualifying time. Race will be starting. Green flag probably about 16 minutes after the hour. There's a shot of Road America, a 4-mile circuit in the Midwest, the heartland of America. Beautiful Wisconsin, not far from Green Bay. A lot of Packer gear shows up to Elkhart Lake. There you see the 6.41 kilometer course, and it is warm today. 46 degree tack temperature, 26 degrees Celsius. That's about 75 for you Fahrenheit folks. Andrew Hewitt out of the U.S. in the 13 machine. And our point leader, as we're halfway through qualifying here, our point leader, Alex Trevor, at the top of the board with a 2:07. He went about half a second quicker in practice earlier on tonight. Fernando Jaquez, the other title combatant, 1 point between them, between Trevor and Salazar heading into tonight.
Yeah, three of our top 4 in points in the top 4 so far through qualifying. This lap by Hewitt, he's gotten loose a couple of times. I noticed this setup is fairly loose on corner exits, so that's something these drivers are going to have to watch out for tonight as Puig moves his way to 3rd on the speed charts. Donnie Hot Rod turns a lap at 2:10.6.
There you see Puig, he just went 3rd quick. Fernando Jaquez sits 2nd in the 26. Salazar 4th. Kevin Ayers in 5th right now. Anthony James, dynamite run last week at the Nürburgring, where he was able to move up to into the top 5 in points for James last week. 3rd place finish, his first podium result. As you see Puig working his way through that hard left-hander at the bottom of the hill, turn 5, now under the bridge through turn 6. Here's Zach Stenhouse in the 88 machine. Feeling that bends through the rolling hills. A far different course, Jordan, than what we saw last week at Nürburgring.
Absolutely. I mean, we're scaling the corners back from 170 or whatever last week was down to like 13 here. It's a lot more about skill at this place over just memorization of every corner. As we see our guys finally, some of them breaking 2:10. Sternhagen, James, Sharp, all under that 2:10 marker. Dewar comes in with a 2:10.3. As everybody's finishing off their second laps. JP Alfonso turns a 2:09. He moves to 5th on the charts.
Hey, Bo, how about that? Going 5th quick. The driver from Atlanta. There you see Todd Bosworth, the 28 machine, wheeling his Ferrari.
As some of these cars just finish up their second lap, we've got about 2.5 minutes left in qualifying. Obviously, Trevor, looking at your pole position as of now, Jaquez, Puig, Salazar, Alfonso, round out your top 5.
So they pretty much hit the cutoff time. That's about all you're going to get is 2 laps here. Well, maybe 3 if you hustle. Some guys out on the course, John Zerke in the 5 machine. And some great views around this place, trees everywhere. Through the kink, down through Kettle Bottom. Now he's working his way towards turn 14 in this long front straightaway. You just never stop going uphill. This is Bosworth, I believe, on the clock. Zerke times in at 2:11. And I believe that is going to be it for qualifying, even though there's a minute. Well, we'll see if we got anybody else on the clock. Yeah, Bosworth. No, he's just slowing down in turn 3. Well, there's Todd Bosworth now into the pits. And, well, that does it for qualifying. It's over. Again, still not 50 seconds left, but it looks like everybody has called it a day. What you got is what you got. As we get some of the scenic views of this beautiful track here at Elkhart Lake.
Well, a lot of quick times out here today for what I've been seeing in the GT3s this week.
Well, welcome into the broadcast booth, Alex Trevor. Can you hear us, Alex?
I got you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Nobody left on the course right now, so it looks like you are the pole winner by about half a second here. Got to be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, Road America's favorite track. One of my favorites. I've actually been around this in real life before too. It's a good course. It is tough a little bit in some corners. You kind of really have to pick your braking and make sure you're just kind of hitting your marks. But it's a great track, obviously for the heritage and everything as well too. It's one of the tops.
How cool is it just to race one of these, or even just tour around one of these iconic tracks in real life?
This one in particular is awesome. It's got a lot of history. There's been a lot of races ran here. I've been here in Formula V's before. My dad actually used to race Formula V's as well. He's been here many a times. So it's been a long time since I've been back to Road America, but one of these days I'll get back there eventually.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations on a big pole winning run. Of course, championship battle on the line tonight. We'll let you get back to driving. And good luck tonight.
Thank you guys. I'll see you later.
Good stuff, Alex Traber. Welcome in Juan Salazar. And you and Alex have been 1-2 all year, and it looks like that's going to continue here again tonight. Number 1 and number 2. Or sorry, I guess you qualified 4th, but number 1 and 2 in points heading into tonight.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have a good race. I'm feeling a little slow here, so we'll see how it goes.
Hey, you've been on a run the last 2 races. Tell us about your back-to-back win streak.
Well, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. You know, I got lucky on a couple of accidents that happened with some of the competitive guys. You know, I was able to stay consistent. So let's see if we can keep it going tonight.
What's going to be the key to getting around this place here tonight?
Well, keeping it in the track. This place is a little tricky. It's a little slippery with the high temps. So, you know, just being consistent.
Do you race the whole field? Do you race the track here tonight? Or do you keep track of where that 50 car is?
Well, Alex is the guy to beat every day. So, or every race, I mean. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on him. If he gets a lead, you know, a comfortable lead, 5-10 seconds, he's gonna be super tough to beat.
Well, Juan Salazar coming off back-to-back wins. We'll see how he does here tonight at Road America. Well, welcome in John Zerke, one of our other competitors here this evening. John, you can you hear us there, John?
Yeah, I got you. You got me.
We do. You named this as one of your favorite tracks when you registered for the series. Tell us about why.
Well, I'm originally from Wisconsin, so I've been to this place. Even turned a couple laps on a Spec Racer Ford a few times. But yeah, just love it. If you've never been to Road America, it's just an awesome venue to watch racing.
Tell us about your night here so far tonight, and what you're going to be able to put together here as the evening goes on.
Man, I don't know. It seems like my connection's kind of skipping. I just hope I don't have any problems right now with that. But I was able to run some. I've probably got a lot of laps around here compared to other tracks. So if all goes well with the connection and everything, hopefully I'll have a good run. I should be able to run you know, 209s, 210s, and, you know, hopefully stay smooth and stay out of trouble.
John Zerke, he will roll off 14th here tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll welcome in Zach Sternhagen. We'll see if Zach's got his mic and equipment on. I know he's muted, but we'll see if he's got time to join us before we go green here. And it doesn't look like it. So we'll set the field for you. Row 1 for tonight's event. On the pole, Alex Trevor. Alongside him, Fernando Jaquez.
Inside of the second row is going to be Jose Puig. Outside of that row, second in points, Juan Salazar. Following them, JP Alfonso on the inside of Kevin Ayers. Next up, Stack Sternhagen and Anthony James, David Sharp, Jay Dewar. That'll round out your top 10. And then Andrew Hewitt, Donnie Hot Rod, Craig Acurez. Acuri is behind them with John Zarecki. And then Todd Bosworth, Eduardo Rodriguez. And that'll round out your field for this race.
Cars working their way down through the kink. Difficult part of the track. Then they come down here to Canada Corner, a place where Michael Andretti crashed so hard years ago. Lots of history around this place. Stock cars, Indy cars, sports cars. Back in 1956, the first ever Cup race was held here. And of course, NASCAR Cup Series getting set to return to Road America this year. The Xfinity Series since 2010 in action here. But tonight, the action is all about the LATAM GP3 Series, round 5 of the 6th race Spring Showdown Championship. It's the KM Cargo machine of Alex Trevor on the pole. Fernando Jaquez alongside him. For Jaquez, it has been hit or miss in that Lambo. A couple second place finishes this year and a couple DNFs. And there you see the other title contender, Juan Salazar, in the traditional black Lambo. Green getting set to fly. They hustle up the uphill straightaway. Field in the hands of Alex Trevor. Green flags out, and we're rolling down into turn 1.
Trevor takes a couple of car length lead. He leads into 1. They fall in a line behind him. The next 3 run nose to tail. They start to space out deeper back in the pack, but Trevor widens up to a 3-4 car length lead as we move back to Alfonso. JP Alfonso rides around in 7th. Here's a battle between Hewitt and Don York. They're 3 wide, coming out of 2. Car into the grass and around.
Deep in the back there's Hewitt and that gold on gold machine, John Zerke. Not the way his night wanted to start, but he's got that Ferrari up and rolling. Doesn't look like he's got too much damage. And how about at the front of the pack? Well, there's Alfonso chasing down Sternhagen, but it's Jaquez trying to hold off Puig up front. Puig actually took a look going down into turn 1. Thought about making a move there and then wisely thought better of it. Puig's had a tough couple weeks. Didn't get out of lap 1 at Nürburgring and failed to get past turn 1 at Interlagos without some contact. So discretion, the better part of valor. He's showing some patience, and Jose Puig's tucked in a line, a solid 3rd place run. You see the lookout back to Juan Salazar in 4th place right now in that black Lambo as they work through the kink. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 100. Oh, there's a problem for Salazar. He had it off. Looks like problems are even in front of Puig. Looks like Trevor's around.
And Trevor, the mistakes keep piling on as he's going to bounce that thing off the inside wall, just trying to get it straightened out again. We follow Puig. This is now the battle for 2nd as they run Jaquez, Salazar, and Puig. Salazar got by in that whole issue, and Trevor has made his way to pit road.
Yeah, nice move by Salazar to get around Puig and all that broke. And yeah, we've got some word from a spotter out in the kink. Alex Trevor just dropped the wheel and has destroyed that Mercedes-Benz.
That shakes everything up as the leaders have just taken the the end of their first lap, Jaquez leads Salazar and Puig.
There you see Kevin Ayers. How about this? Good run for that Lambo up into fourth spot. He's got Zach Sternhagen chasing him in the 88. It's the Lambo and the Benz underneath the Cheese Bridge down towards turn 5. And oh, we got a problem deep in the field. Let's see the replay. Yeah, not sure quite what happened there. It was crazy, that's for sure. There you see Hewitt in the middle of it.
There are a lot of cars with a lot of damage around behind. Don York has bounced it off the wall 3 or 4 times back here. His car looks to be destroyed.
Arcuri, he's on pit road. Hewitt on pit road. There you see pit road, a busy place here early for 2 laps in. And a tough break for your point leader, obviously waiting for repairs. But there's the man of the hour. He was able to pounce, shoot into second spot. Now he's chasing down the Red Bull Lambo of Fernando Jaquez, your point leader. Juan Salazar out of Florida. Spoke to him during the pace laps. He said the guy to beat was Trevor. I got news for him. He's the guy to beat now. Up this front straightaway. And down into turn 1, an eventful opening couple laps. How about Kevin Ayers? He's been on a roll. 8th place finish last week, 7th the week before. Got to spend a little bit of time. Kevin was on one of our teams I was racing with on the weekend at the Nürburgring. I had a good long visit with the North Carolinian. Had a good chat about racing and this series itself. And he's having a good run here tonight up in the 4th, trying to chase down Jose Puig. He's 2.2 seconds behind Puig. But more troubling for him is the look out that rearview mirror. Stanhagen's going to take a look. Oh, Alfonso might have shipped it. Got in a little too deep from 6th spot. Hey, no blood, no foul. No crinkled fenders, and they all keep rolling. Kevin Ayers to get this money racing Lambo.
Sternhagen laying some major pressure on Kevin Ayers, who's just holding that spot. As of now, they've distanced themselves about 2.5 seconds back from the top 3. But Sternhagen is wearing out that bumper. About 2 car lengths back.
I think in a 45-minute race, tires will play some effect. You got to be able to save it. This place is tough on tires. So many heavy braking zones. So many chances to lock them up. Right now, it's Ayers. And we've got Don York now making a pit stop in his Ferrari.
That's going to be to fix damage. Update on that. Andrew Hewitt was right behind Don York going into turn 1. Hewitt dropped a wheel about 150 feet from turn 1, cut off the inside of the corner, and drove into the side of Don York. So that's going to ruin both of their days, as both those cars had some heavy damage. We move back over to Juan Salazar. He's got pressure out back from Puig. Jaquez has walked away by about 2 seconds, and these two run nose to tail. Puig takes a look to the right side. He's going to have the inside going into turn 2. He had taken a look to the left, the last corner. He's going to think better of that and bow out. Still right on that bumper of Juan Salazar. Jose Puig runs 3rd now. He takes another look to the right. He's going to have the run. They pull even to each other. Going into this hard left-hander. They're still going to be even through here. Salazar is going to take the spot. Puig just about dropped 2 tires on the right side. He's going to have to fall back and regroup.
we did get some clarification on that turn 1 incident. It was actually Dewar that dropped the wheel, and he went skidding through the inside of the corner, got into Don York, and Andrew Hewitt had nowhere to go, and it looked like the steering broken in Dewar's car when he tried to drive away, and he's ended up with 3 good, decent cars out of this one. Right now, you're looking at Jose Puig, looking to piece together a real good race here. He started out the season like a gangbuster at Daytona with a 5th place finish. Since then, he struggled 16th, 21st, and 15th. But he's putting it all together here tonight. And there you see JP Alfonso. Again, one of the drivers got some work last weekend in the 24 hours of Nürburgring. He's chasing down Zach Sternhagen. He's got a real good view of this battle at the cockpit. Sternhagen goes toe-to-toe with Kevin Ayers. They've been going at it for a few laps here. A great view from 6th spot, but a second back of this race for 4th.
Yeah, JP Alfonso definitely not in a bad position right now. He can just ride around following these two and just hold out there.
There you see the GoPro view. Sternhagen putting the heat on Ayers, in a great spot to watch this from. What a battle for 4th spot. Kevin Ayers out of North Carolina. And there's Zach Sternhagen in the 88 machine.
These 3 are pretty evenly spaced. They run 4th, 5th, and 6th on the circuit right now.
Down the Moraine sweep into turn 5. Sternhagen will show a nose again. You see that gap pretty consistent between Sternhagen and Alfonso. I think it might be a case of Alfonso might have just backed up the crazier this battle got in front of him. Give these two a little bit of room. They work through hurry downs into turn 8. Now one of the coolest portions of this course. Through the carousel with Zach Sternhagen under the Road America Bridge. I believe it's the Johnsonville Bridge now if you go there live. Of course, this track was scanned a few years ago by iRacing out of the carousel and back up into 4th. Riding with Zachary Sternhagen. His favorite track, Road America, the Iowa driver. A couple top 10s on tour this year. Now through the kink and through Kettle Bottoms down into Canada Corner. Turn 12. Alfonso closes up as they work their way through Thunder Valley. And around the Mitchell Bend. Back into turn 14. And then you'll see this uphill rise up the front straightaway. Along pit road here on the right. They swing it out off the final corner and up the big hill.
It's really incredible how well these drivers use every inch of curb and every inch of runoff they can get to just keep every advantage, get on the gas a little bit sooner. It's just incredible how close they can get to the grass without going off every time.
Look at that, Kevin Ayers, Sternhagen, Alfonso just hanging together all within a second. And I think that these two right here are slowly running down your lead. I believe that lead a few laps ago was up in the 2.2 second range. Fernando Jaquez, you have been weighed, you have been measured. Juan Salazar and Jose Puig are coming for you.
And Puig is definitely the fastest car on the track right now. He's just pushing Salazar as hard as he can, hanging out back there in 3rd. Jaquez suffice to just run around in the lead right now. About a half a lap ago, Puig did take a look on the inside of Salazar, thought better of it and backed off, and that's where he's sitting right now.
Yeah, fastest lap of the night so far is Puig with a 2:07.93. So that red Ferrari getting it done around this 4-mile road course. There you see the driver behind the controls, as cool as a cucumber. Working his way through Thunder Valley and Richard Bend. Road America, 4 miles, a little over 6 kilometers through the hills of Wisconsin. And there's a great shot up this front straightaway, huge elevation change. And on the start, you don't see the flag stand until you get right up near the top of that hill. And again, some hard braking down the turn one up over 250 kilometers an hour for Puig in the Ferrari, slipstreaming second place Juan Salazar. And the lead that was 1.5 now down to 1.4. So Salazar and Puig are coming. Here's your trivia question for the night. LATAM GP trivia question. The Road America racetrack at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin is 4 miles exactly. Why was this track made 4 miles exactly? Back with the answer for that one in a bit. Right now we continue to watch this front trio who have wasted the rest of the field. They're pretty much in a league of their own. Kevin Ayers 7 seconds back, but there's Puig working his way. That's out of the carousel. Don't check that into the carousel. Puig. Looks like he's lost a bit of ground, had a little off there. Has fallen back to 1.3 seconds behind Salazar. So we'll see if he bites down on that chin strap and goes and gets him. And again, this guy, just the further we get in every race, the better he gets, the further we get in this series. Anthony James in that green, red, and white Ferrari just keeps pounding. That's the 216 machine. He's out in New England. He has raced some Busch North, some NASCAR stuff in his career. Favorite track, Watkins Glen. This place, I got to figure out a little bit like Watkins Glen, rolling hills. James again started the season with a 11th place finish, then finished 6th in round 2 at Spa before we went to Brazil, where he rattled off a 5th place run and then a 3rd place podium finish last week through the forests in the Eifel Mountains at Nürburgring. Anthony James has used that to propel himself up into 5th in points and climbing. Trevor again coming in as number 1 dog in points, Salazar 2nd. And absent from tonight's event, your 3rd place driver in points. Odd to not see Josh Benjamin in the house this evening.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a huge mix-up tonight. Salazar is probably just going to go out and get everything he can on Trevor, who's going to wind up with a DNF. He'll get no points from this event. And, I mean, still interesting to think about that we are coming up on pit stops, and those have been a point of disappointment this series so far. A lot of mistakes made on pit road that have cost a lot of people a lot of points.
So Anthony James, that last time into turn 5, got in pretty deep. He had reeled Alfonso in and then fell back just a bit. So let's see if Anthony James can regather things. Sitting 7th right now. And Josh Benjamin, if you are watching the stream, we do miss you here tonight. It's definitely a better race with Josh Benjamin in there, one of the top drivers on tour so far this year. He came into tonight 3rd in points. So this will allow Jaquez, if he can keep it rolling, to climb up into the top 3 for sure. He was 4th entering tonight's festivities, but he's more worried about the golden cow here in Wisconsin. As here comes Juan Salazar. Your point leader has slowly been reeling him in.
Reeling in Jaquez and stepping away from Puig. There's about a 2.6 second gap between Salazar and Puig. It is now just Salazar and Jaquez up front here. Salazar sufficed to ride it out in second for now.
Seen how patient he can be over the season. Probably the only mistake he made all year was when he touched Trevor in the inner horseshoe in Florida at Daytona in the season opener. Other than that, hasn't really dropped the wheel. And looking stout here, and he's gonna put the heat on Jaquez here. Takes a peek down into turn 5. Jaquez throws the block to the bottom. Now Salazar tries to get a run up the hill under the bridge into turn 6, and he will. Little argy-bargy on his way by. But we've got a new leader. And Jaquez tried to throw the block, but unfortunately, when Jaquez tried to slam the door, Salazar already had his foot in there. You can see Salazar got a good run on him. Broke him into the corner. He was going to make the corner.
Made some decent contact. That pushes Jaquez back to third and leaves Salazar leading this race with a huge 2-second lead now. Your front three all barely on the same straightaway at this point as JP Alfonso, putting pressure on Anthony James now for 6th. They run nose to tail down into the kink and down the back straightaway.
Wow, some interesting activity up front. Now you're looking at JP Alfonso. Looks like he has lost that spot to Anthony James. Again, the tattoo artist from Atlanta, Georgia. Put together a couple solid runs. He was 6th in the season opener at Daytona. Was 8th in the late stages at Nürburgring. And then suffered a little bad luck in Spa when he got bumped off the course on the opening start. You see he's turned it around here today at Road America. Sitting 7th as we approach the 20-minute mark of this 45-minute affair. Now Alfonso takes a peek to the inside. Had to back out. Didn't quite have a fender alongside James.
Yeah, turn 1 and 2 are very tough to pass if you can't roll out to that left outside curb going into both of them. JP Alfonso's going to drop back about a half a second behind James and wait for another good opportunity.
Probably the best. This is probably the best spot to pass if you can get close enough. Whoa, Alfonso dives it in deep. We saw him blow that corner a few laps ago. So we'll see if the Ferrari driver can gather himself here. Trying to run down Anthony James, but that actually gave James a little bit of breathing room now. He's a little over a second up on Alfonso. This is all happening about 20 seconds behind your leader, Juan Salazar. Jose Puig now up into second again after Jaquez is off. But that 26 machine fighting back. He's now closer within 5 seconds of the leader again. There you see Alfonso dancing through the kink into the Indy cars or open wheel cars DRS front. And now down into Canada corner. Again, this track not very far from the border into Manitoba. A lot of Canadians making the trek from northwestern Ontario to northern Michigan, and from Minnesota, or from Manitoba down to North America. That's why they renamed that one Canada Corner. And pit stops so plenty. It's going to be James and Alfonso in first. Sternhagen as well on pit road. There's Sharp going by on the front stretch. Here's JP Alfonso now.
This should mix stuff up. We know this has been a brewing point of mistakes throughout this series. We saw them at Daytona. We saw them last week with Trevor not taking enough gas out at Nürburgring.
They both hit their pit stall. We'll see who guesses right here. Tough place to run out of fuel. It's definitely not downhill to the finish line if you do run out. James out first, Alfonso out right behind him, so pretty much in lockstep with how they went in. The Ferraris will resurface right in front of Jay Dewar in 9th and 10th.
Alfonso and James get through their pit stops clean. We should see the leaders all ducking down pit road either this time or the next. As we watch Puig hunting Salazar right now. He's about
Drilling in
7
your
tenths
leader.
back.
He is coming. Fernando Jaquez not, well, Fernando Jaquez, that was up at 5 seconds. He's coming as well. I don't think Salazar is safe. This one is far from over as we reach approximately the halfway point here at Road America. Well, the answer to your LATAM GP trivia question, as we spoke about earlier, why is this track exactly 4 miles in length? The reason is when they first started motor racing in the U.S., this Grand Prix was actually held through town. After a tragedy in town at Watkins Glen, they banned auto racing on public roads, and this course was developed. It's in a place called Elkhart Lake, and if you walk the shoreline of Elkhart Lake, it is exactly 4 miles. Hence, when they designed the track, they wanted it to be the exact length of the shore of Elkhart Lake, the town to which this racetrack is home. So there's your LATAM GP trivia for tonight. Track opened in 1955 and one of the American classics. And speaking of classics, I think we're going to see a classic finish here this evening. Salazar leads 1.1 seconds back is Jose Puig. Again, Puig looking to have that kind of success that he had at Daytona, where he was able to rattle off a 5th place finish. He's been in the top 5 in qualifying every time out, and he's putting it all together here tonight. Jose Puig.
No count Jaquez out. He is coming about a second and a half from Puig right now. The stop's still going to take everybody out.
Yeah, he was 5 seconds. He was 5 seconds back when he got rolling. Looks to be now under 4 seconds. We got pressing, dropped another wheel. Got to keep his composure here if he's going to challenge that black Lambo.
Salazar might have been on to something. He did say before the race it was all about keeping 4 wheels on the track. He's so far done that, and he's out in the lead as your top 2, Puig and Salazar. Dive down pit road together. Jaquez is going to go out and lead a couple of laps here. Or at least this one. Kevin Ayers ducks down pit road as well.
Can Jaquez rip a fast lap while these two guys are in the pits and make up some distance?
Sternhagen, Sharp, both down pit road as well.
There's Zach Sternhagen in the 88. Kevin Ayers also in the pits. And there, we'll see who comes out first. Puig and Salazar. Salazar first.
Salazar.
Puig looked like he took substantially more fuel than Salazar did.
Yeah, Salazar is going to be out first by a lot. Looks like there's going to be about an 8-second gap between the two, maybe 7. 7-second gap between the two. So either Puig took too much or Salazar took too little. We'll see how that works out over the next 18 minutes of this LATAM GP Spring Showdown Event 5. As we follow Anthony James. running a half a second back from Kevin Ayers.
The other thing that possibly could have happened, and it's happened to everybody iRacing, he might have left the tires on. I went back and had a quick look at that stop of the telemetry there. It looked like Salazar was only on pit road for about 12 seconds, which is about right. What I'm thinking is Puig might have had some problems with having left those tires on, or just flat out took too much fuel. He's a long ways back to your leader now, or the guy who should be the leader. Jaquez on pit road right now. James trying to reel in Kevin Ayers. Anthony James keeps rumbling through the field. There's Fernando Jaquez in the Red Bull Lambo 26 machine. We'll see how much distance he picked up on his stop. My guess is he's going to come out second behind Salazar.
I think there's a chance he might come out third as Fernando Salazar drives by right there. There goes Puig.
Oh, this is going to be good for second. No, Jaquez will get out second. And again, Jaquez, he was in the 4.5 second back range. Ran an extra lap. Now he's 6.5 back. So did he take too much fuel? Did maybe Salazar take too little? Okay. Getting word from a corner marker. Salazar made a little error out on track, and that's what cost him the time. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because regardless of what we think happened, you can bet that Fernando Jaquez is absolutely biting down on the chin strap right now, doing everything he can to catch Juan Salazar. No matter what ended up happening down there, when the pair made contact, you can bet that Jaquez feels he's got a credit on the dash. So all he's trying to do is to get to Salazar, and then the fireworks could fly here at Road America. Well, this is going on. Kevin Ayers giving up a spot to Anthony James. James moving into the 4th spot. And Fernando Jaquez ahead of Salazar now.
2 seconds back from them runs Puig. Now Jaquez leading Salazar 1-2.
And I got word from the spotter that Salazar let Jaquez go by, so maybe he feels like he might have been in the wrong on that pass, wanted to square it up and settle it fair and square, and if he did, the sportsmanship award goes to Juan Salazar. I don't know many guys that do that, Jordan.
Well, either that or a fear that Jaquez might have been driving with a little bit of anger, and just to hold on to finish the fight, he might have let him go just out of wanting to finish. These three, all within about 3 seconds of each other now. Puig, Jaquez, and Salazar. As Puig has been running significantly faster than these front two, which really does play the question of, did he take tires?
I don't know if his time on pit road was enough to take all 4. That's an extra 20 seconds you have to make up, and you didn't have to make that much up. We'll see just what happened. It could have been made. Who knows? Maybe a connection issue. Nobody knows. Juan Salazar, your point leader. trying to reel in Fernando Jaquez.
We got about 13 minutes left.
There you go, Salazar. Yeah.
Mistake by Jaquez out of that corner. Let Salazar suck up the gap between them.
Oh, and Salazar's going to have a really good run here. Yeah, he's going to take well, unless Jaquez throws the block on him, but I can't see how he would at this point. How about Juan Salazar? He's going to get it done again down the front stretch. These Lambos side by side heading down into one. They get to the end of the pit wall. Into turn one they go, both of them slamming on the brakes. And Salazar back out front, but Jaquez not giving up. He's going to fire his Red Bull Lambo down to the bottom. No, he tucks back in line behind Salazar. The pair will race off turn 3. Through the bend to turn 4 and down to the heavy braking zone in turn 5. Puig with a great view of this one, 1.8 seconds back.
Yeah, that pass let Puig get back into the mix here, but these two aren't done up front. Jaquez has got the run on Salazar. Salazar should break away from him as Jaquez drops a tire coming out of that corner.
These guys are pushing now, late stages of this one. Again, using up all this real estate. And there's not a lot of error between the edge of the curb and the grass here.
No, and when you hit the wall, you hit it hard. A lot of high-speed cornering happens at this place, as our first and second still run nose to tail.
Great battle between Salazar and Jaquez. They've been going at it all night long. Out through the kink, down into Canada corner. Jaquez going to tuck back in line behind Salazar. Look at the crowd here today. You saw him up at the grandstand bleacher, enjoying a dandy race through Murphy's Bend. Oh, Jaquez goes off there. He is pushing, trying to stay with the point leader.
And Jaquez got off to the right. That was the recovery of the day for sure. Comes back down, half a second behind. Salazar now, he is still in the hunt after a big, potentially costly mistake coming out of the last corner. As they both break into one. Salazar, Jaquez.
Putting on clinic now as they work through turn 3. Jaquez right there. Salazar, Jaquez, Puig, Ayers, Anthony James, Zach Sternhagen, JP Alfonso, and how about this? Into turn 5, Jaquez hard on the brakes. Now Salazar, well, if Jaquez remembers, he'll know that Salazar not trying to stick it down in there. Going into 6, he'll make it back. What a great race for the lead.
I believe that's 3 times now these two cars have just dive-bombed one another, pulled the crossover into the next straightaway, and changed up positions. Jaquez drops a wheel coming out of turn 4 into the carousel now. They run with about a half a second gap.
Fastest lap of the night so far, 2:07.2 by Juan Salazar. And it is almost 30 seconds back to Anthony James and Kevin Ayers, who battle for 4th. All eyes on this race out front. The black Lambo, the red Lambo, and the red Ferrari have been the top 3 ever since Alex Trebor buried his Mercedes-Benz Firewall deep in kink tonight.
And right now, 8 minutes left. I mean, these 3 have broken away from the rest of the pack. who would you want to be right now? Obviously, you want to lead every lap, so Salazar would be a good pick. But if you're back there, you're Jose Puig, you're watching these front two go at it, and you just got to be hoping something happens. He's about to make a look on Jaquez. Puig's been sitting back there patiently, potentially saving his car for the last minutes of this race. Looked like he was going to take a look to the right. He's going to fall back in line.
So we're getting word from the pit stall. Jaquez's front tires pretty much down to the cords. He has done everything. He's got everything he could out of those race tires.
The real question is going to be if Jose Puig can get by, and if he can, will he have anything for Salazar? He's slipping away. The gap between Jaquez and Salazar has opened up to about 1.6 seconds as Puig works that back bumper.
See what Puig's got left here. See how much patience he has learned over the last few weeks. That 8 machine. The red Ferrari doing whatever he can to try to reel in Fernando Jaquez.
He dropped a couple tires through turn 4. He seems to have recovered through the kink as they get down into this heavy braking zone.
Stretch, so we'll see if he's got enough to go after Fernando Jaquez. And you got to work these cars really hard to burn out tires in 45 minutes. But again, we saw just how hard Jaquez was working that Lamborghini.
Yeah, and you don't see it as much in the endurance races that like we compete in a lot, but in all these shorter sprint races, everybody's trying to get everything they can out of their car right away. Can wear out those tires, and that could be fatal going off one of these corners at 150 plus miles an hour.
One of my favorite tires quotes of all time was Larry McReynolds. Of course, Formula One, they've had tire troubles at times. NASCAR's had tire troubles at times. And Larry McReynolds just stood up one day and said, "It's not the Goodyear, for example, when NASCAR builds terrible tires. We just do terrible things to the tires." So that's the way these guys are treating this rubber here tonight. Not very well. Not sure whether they're on Continentals, Bridgestones, but they're black and they're round and they're getting abused. 2.5. Jaquez back to Salazar, and then it's Puig, 1.3 ticks behind that. James again. 26 seconds behind this battle for second and third, and Kevin Ayers right there with him.
We're down to just 8 cars left on the lead lap here of a 16 that started as we follow Fernando Jaquez. He's built up a bit of a cushion out the front and about the same out the back. A 2.5 either way. Follow David Sharp now. He's looking to put some pressure on JP Alfonso for 7th. He's just under a second back from the tattoo artist out of Georgia.
So Dave Sharp, he struggled in the early going, 17th at Daytona, which was his favorite track, and 23rd at Spa. Since then, he's rebounded, 9th at Interlagos, and then a 6th place finish at Nürburgring last Thursday night. Sharp now up into 8th place here this evening, and threatening to crack the top 10 in points here with another solid run in his Audi here this evening. And I guess for a guy from Missouri in this series, would this be his home track or Coda? Or he's kind of halfway in between? I don't know. he's got a home track, this might be it. Kevin
Yeah.
Ayers, North Carolina, sitting 5th right now. This is a great battle. Him and Anthony James going at it. Again, Ayers was active last weekend in the 24 Hours of Nürburgring. North Carolinian working it down under the Cheese Bridge, heading towards turn 5. We're on lap 20. Just a couple minutes remaining.
Jaquez goes around. He's gone around up front. He's going to drop way well back. He's gotten it rolling again. He lost a lot of time, didn't actually wind up losing. Oh, he lost the position to Puig, but he stopped the bleeding there. He gets rolling again, still got a 30-second gap back to Anthony James. He's going to regroup. And that really spaces them out. Salazar now with a 3-second lead over Puig.
And it was just before you go into the carousel, the last left before you went into going to the carousel. Drop the wheel on exit off to the right. And the white is in the air, folks. Juan Salazar, as the clock reaches 44 minutes on his last 4 miles through the farmland of Wisconsin. And we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, LATAM GP Series. You are watching the guy who's going to come out of here tonight, your point leader. Working his way down into turn 5, the heavy braking zone for the final time.
Yeah, there was only a 1-point gap between him and Trevor. Trevor leading the points going into this one after a lap 1 incident that deemed Trevor out of the race. He's not going to pick up any points tonight, but Salazar will get full points for whatever position he winds up with at this point. Again, there's only 7 cars left on the lead lap. So Salazar just hoping to go mistake-free through the last 6 or 7 turns.
There you see the black Lambo working now into the carousel. And how about this? Sharp heating up the action on Alfonso. They're working their way under the Cheese Bridge down into turn 5. Oh, Alfonso just slammed the door. Oh, my.
And David Sharp's car is pretty much done. He's not going to have any chance at catching Alfonso, who just ran him out of room on that straightaway. JP Alfonso pulls away, holding out in 6th now.
Sharp made the draft and the move out to the left. And Alfonso didn't know he was there, didn't signal, didn't nothing. And David Sharp went for a ride. Luckily, he was able to recover, but we'll see if he can hold on to that 7th spot.
And Juan Salazar has taken the checkered flag out here at Road America. Jose Puig has finished the race in 2nd. We're going to see Jaquez after his spin, losing that spot to Puig. He's going to come over the hill. He'll finish 3rd. Flashing the lights as we move back to Anthony James, who picked his way through the field, showed off some incredible patience tonight. He's going to bring it home 4th. Kevin Ayers is going to round out your top 5.
Oh, you see Sharp goes around on the last corner. Tough break for David Sharp. Such a good run. Doesn't look like it'll cost him a spot, though. But definitely got to be frustrated.
Yeah, that's one where you just take a number and worry about that later.
I didn't feel
Uh,
good. Get past you.
So
well,
I guess
welcome,
we'll start by welcoming in our race winner.
Juan Salazar. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Wonderful. Well, that was a heck of a race. You showed some major patience just picking your way back up to the front there. Uh, Tell us about that performance.
You know, that was a fun race. Bomber, I really wanted to have a battle with Alex, you know. The first lap was super slippery, and I guess he went off track. I went off track too on the first lap, but I kind of was able to keep it together. Fernando did a great job. I didn't feel good about the way I passed him the first time, so I let him go. And then we had a little second battle there.
Yeah, that was wonderful. He had a wipeout with about a lap and a half to go, and that rendered him out. But then, did you see Jose Puig coming back in your rear view? Did that have any effect on your last couple laps?
Yeah, Jose was having a great race. I mean, he was pretty fast today. I was trying to just keep it on the track, and when I saw him catching up to me, I had to hurry up a little bit. You know what I mean, to keep the lead. But yeah, Jose and Fernando both did a great job today.
And then obviously Trevor going out lap one, that's going to give you a huge lead in points going into the last race. What's the plan going into next week at Circuit of the Americas?
Next week, the plan will be to finish the race. If I finish the race, I should be okay with the points, you know. But I'm just gonna show up and try to have a good race, try to have a fun race.
Wonderful. That's Juan Salazar in the 6 car, your race winner tonight.
And we'll welcome in our third place finisher, man, Fernando Jacquez. First of all, welcome to the broadcast booth, my friend.
Thank you so much. Good evening to you guys. How you
Hey,
guys
man,
doing?
we haven't got to talk to you too much this year, but you have been entertaining. Some second place finishes, some runs to the front. Tell us about your season so far.
No, it has been a pretty good season for me. It's the first time playing a season like in iRacing. This is pretty fun. I love it, but it's a lot harder than other games. That's why it's so good.
Hey, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Tell us about your run tonight. Did you just use up your stuff in the early going, trying to hang with Juan?
Well, it was pretty hard for me. I was talking to Juan before getting to uh, the broadcast room, but it was very difficult for me. I felt that I warmed up the tires too much, and I was fighting with the car the last 10 laps. But I was able to finish in the podium, thanks God, and nothing. Let's see what happens next week.
Now, do you do any racing in real life or just on the Sims?
No, just on the Sims from now. I'm trying to do it in real life.
What are you looking at getting into?
I don't know, maybe some Mazda first to see what is going on, and then to see if we can go better and better.
Right on. Next week, obviously, Circuit of America to close off the season. You're looking forward to that one?
Well, it's gonna be my first time in that circuit too, so let's practice a lot and see if I can get some good positions. And I really want to congratulate Juan today. It was a pretty great race.
Well, Fernando, thanks for joining us, and look forward to seeing you again next week, deep in the heart of Texas.
See you there, guys. Thank you. Have a great night.
That was Fernando Jacquez, your third place finisher. Now welcome in our second place finisher, Jose Puig.
Puig, you got us?
Hello, yes, I hear you.
Hey, so you were running around in third for most of that. Did you think you had enough left in it to go get Fernando?
I had, but every time I try to push, I would make a mistake, So I said, okay, let's finish third after all the mess you've done in the last 4 races. Let's finish this one. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, you've definitely been having some difficulties. Turned it all around tonight. Are you happy with the finish?
Yes, very happy, and yeah, I wish I didn't have make the mistakes I made in Spa in Belgium and also in Nürburgring. Everywhere I made mistakes, stupid, silly mistakes. But anyway, we're there. It was really fun.
You had the best view of that first place battle when Jaquez and Salazar were going at it for a few laps. Was your plan to just sit back and hope something happened between them that let you barge through?
Yes, when I saw them fighting, I said, okay, let's see if we're lucky. And they make a mistake, and we can. But I didn't know how many gas I had to fill. So I I stood there for another 5 seconds. I shouldn't have. So anyway, it was really fun.
Next week, we're headed out to the Circuit of Americas. Have you turned a lot of laps there? You ready to go?
Yes. I think I'm ready to go. I'll practice a bit on Tuesday and Wednesday, and see if we can have a good result there too.
Okay, well, this was Jose Puig, your second place finisher tonight, as we're going to welcome Anthony James into the booth.
Anthony, solid fourth place finish here tonight. You keep rolling in that Ferrari.
Yeah, that's a good car to run, Jamie. And it's this place. The track seemed to get kind of greasy at the end, and I thought I'd save my tires, so I was biding my time.
Hey, you had some good battles. I know you were racing hard with Kevin Ayers and JP Alfonso. How fun was it to just dice it up with those guys for the night?
Yeah, it was good. I kind of watched. I think JP probably cooked his tires a little early, and I really was pushed at the end by Kevin.
Good stuff. Obviously, you're up in the top 5 in points now. Maybe even moving into the top 3. What's it going to take next week at Circuit of the Americas to get to victory lane?
Oh, there's some pretty tough competition out there, Jamie. I would be very happy if we could maintain this progress.
Good stuff. Well, another good run for you here tonight. Anthony James, a solid fourth place finish, and welcome to the broadcast booth, the fifth place finisher, Kevin Ayers.
How you doing? Hello?
Sorry, Mike was muted. You had a pretty solid race tonight, fifth place finish. Kind of maintained that the whole evening. Were you happy with the finish?
Yeah, that was my best race start to finish in the series, so I'll take it. Best qualifying, best finish, everything.
You've gotten better throughout the weeks, and it's awesome to watch. Are you loving the competition out here every week?
Yeah, it's really fun. Most of the guys are, we're all fairly close to each other, and some guys are stronger at different tracks, but it's been good. Everybody's been very clean, but yet still racing. I've loved it.
And next week we head to Circuit of the Americas for the last event in this series. Are you looking forward to that?
Yes, that's one of my favorite tracks.
Okay, well, that was Kevin Ayers, your fifth place finisher this evening.
And then I said, well, probably he's going to pass me.
Now we'll welcome in our sixth place finisher, JP Alfonso. And
Hey.
JP, good run for you tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I didn't have time to practice at all this week. And actually, I was talking to Jose Puig earlier today, and I was telling him that, I don't know how this is going to go because I cannot manage to make a good time around this track. So I'm amazed with the result.
Hey, is Road America in the day easier than Nürburgring in the dark?
Oh, definitely. Yes. I'm still having nightmares about that.
Obviously, next week, off to Circuit of the Americas. I don't believe you've run a league before, if I'm not mistaken. I guess you got to be pretty pleased with the way you've done so far.
Yeah, I'm brand new. I still feel like a brand new baby in this. I'm still, learning some things but no, definitely I'm excited to be able to race with you guys, and y'all really make it very fun.
And we got to ask, we saw the contact at the end. What happened?
Hello. Well, usually, and on that turn, usually I prepare to take that sharp left by doing a straight line, and then pointing straight to the number 3 marker, and then I make put the car straight on the straight lines for the breaking point right there before the number 2. So I saw the car behind me, number 7, and I said, well, I only have a split second to think about what's gonna happen. I say, well, he cannot pass because we're about to take a left turn, so he needs to be on the right side of the track. So I say he cannot pass because the grass is right there on the left, and I'm right here on the right. So I said, well, maybe he's gonna overtake once I move to the right to prepare for the left turn. But next thing I knew, we made contact, and I'm really really surprised that we both then lost it right there.
Mm. Well, thanks for joining us in the broadcast booth. A solid sixth place finish for you here this evening, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week at COTA.
Thank you so much.
And we'll welcome David Sharp into the broadcast booth. First of all, David, you keep getting better and better every week, and another good run tonight. Obviously, the last lap didn't go how you planned it, but tell us about the rest of the race first.
So yes, the rest of the race was pretty good. I was able to maintain a relatively good speed. Not as fast as I was for the first time in practice, but then again, it's a track I haven't spent a whole lot of time on, so it's still up in the works.
Now you were climbing steadily. You caught JP. He kind of we just had him in the broadcast booth. He didn't really think you were going down there, and then you were. And it's one of those deals where I don't think it was intentional by any means, but it ended up shortening your day and costing you probably another spot.
Yeah, I would say so on that. I mean, yeah, talking with him, it seemed like he was unaware that I was going to be making the move. From my perspective, I was right behind him in the draft, and I had such a good run on him that I thought might as well make the move over there while it counts. And just an unfortunate situation there. I'm
Well,
glad I did have a sizable lead from the person behind, so that I was able to keep my regular position.
we were in the broadcast booth, and then we kept checking to go. Okay, hopefully he only lost that spot he was racing for. So I guess that was the good news out of it. It could have been way worse.
Yeah, it could have been. I'm just glad I was able to nurse the car home.
Good stuff. So obviously looking to bounce back and close the season off next week on a good note. Tell us about your feelings going into COTA.
Coda, I probably need a little bit more work with, but it's something I'll probably warm up to over time. I think, much like all the other free practices at the start, I tend to start slow and then build up confidence along the way. I'll certainly look forward to working on those S's after the first hairpin, and I do look forward to hopefully ending on a high note and possibly another top 10.
Good stuff. And tell us about your experience with the series itself so far. You've been having a good time?
Yeah. Aside from the start, things have been getting better and better each week, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Good stuff. Well, we are glad to have you out. Thanks again, Dave Sharp. Congratulations on a solid seventh place finish here this evening. And Jordan, that kind of wraps it up here from the Midwest. Great action at Road America. Again, the point battle now. It's pretty much Juan Salazar's to lose at this point. He's going to be playing defense mode next week at COTA. For all the drivers here in the LATAM GP and everybody joining us at home, I'm Jamie Maudsley, my broadcast partner, Jordan Maudsley. Thanks for joining us here again on LATAMGP.com for the Spring Showdown, round number 5. Don't forget to join us next Thursday night, where we'll be at COTA, Circuit of the Americas, and Juan Salazar, with his third straight win, will be the guy to beat, looking to clinch the season championship.